Hello, students. This is the beginning of the most exciting playlist that is basic to advanced level of programming. I have divided this playlist into five parts because we shouldn't skip any important concept in middle. So I'm going to share the roadmap of part one. Once we are done with part one, then we'll be heading to the roadmap of part two. Now let us understand what are all the topics which we are going to cover in part one. We'll start with how to approach a problem. Here, we won't be writing any code, we'll be using graphical representations in order to reach our end result. And we'll be solving various kinds of problems during the entire process of course. And your task is to tackle the assignment questions which will be given in the description box based on the questions which we discussed in the video itself. So if you face any difficulty during the problem of solving those assignment questions, feel free to drop your questions or any queries in the Telegram group or in the comment section as well. We will discuss each and every question which you are facing in later videos. Then we'll be discussing about data types, variables and keywords which are necessary in order to start writing our code. Then we'll move on to operators like arithmetic operators. Then we'll be taking input from users. How can we take input from users? Then we'll be solving problems and assignment questions will be given. We'll be discussing about a boolean data type, that is true or false, which is one of the most important data type in order to tackle next topics. Then we'll go to decision statements. There are two different types of decision statements, that is while loops and for loops. For now, first we'll discuss about while loops. Then we'll go to relational and logical operators. And we'll be solving various kinds of problems using all these concepts which we discussed till then. Then we'll go to conditional statements. Conditional statements are if, else if statements. And we'll be solving problems on that statements too. Then you'll be given some assignment questions to make you get some in-depth knowledge in that topic. Then we'll go to one of the most important and interesting concepts, that is patterns. Patterns are used to enhance your skills in decision statements and conditional statements, like where to use the statement and how to use the statements and all those. You'll be getting familiarized once you tackle different kinds of problems on patterns. Then we'll go to for loops. As I mentioned earlier, decision statements are two types, for loops and while loops. We are done with while loops and now we'll go with for loops. And there is a method called as range method which is present in for loops that we'll be discussing. Then we'll be solving some problems and assignment questions will be given. Then we'll move on to next. Later, we'll be discussing about dictionaries and then all the operations which are performed on that data type, along with the inbuilt methods which are present for that particular data type. We'll be solving problems for each and every data type along with assignment questions. Then we'll go with the keywords. There are different kinds of keywords which are regularly used in our coding on daily basis, like break, else, continue, pass. All these statements or keywords will be used and we'll be solving different kinds of problems using those keywords as well. Then we'll head to our first interesting task, that is project 1. Once we are done with project 1, then we'll go with functions. Like what are functions, why are they used, what are variables, scope of variables, lifetime of variables, what are the parameters used. And then we'll be solving various kinds of problems in order to get better understanding of how to use functions in a program. Then we'll head to the final part of part 1, that is project number 2. Once we are done with project 2, we'll be done with part 1 of basic to advanced level programming. I must say, in every concept, you will be given different kinds of assignment questions. But before that, we'll also be solving various kinds of problems in the video itself. So, I hope you tackle each and every assignment question for better understanding and to gain 100% of practical knowledge along with the theoretical knowledge. That is all from my end. Once we are done with part 1, then I'll be giving you the insights about part 2 roadmap. Before that, I'll be mentioning the link of part 1 roadmap in the description box. So do save it so that you could follow the pace of videos which will be coming one after the other. We'll be doing the entire process or playlist of basic to advanced level of programming along with data structures and algorithms in Python programming language, which is the most emerging language in nowadays. And if at all you didn't watch the basic terminologies of coding, which were covered in previous videos, I definitely recommend you to finish those videos before you head on to the next videos so that you get better understanding of all the concepts which we'll be discussing in later videos.